Doma Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, been away for a couple of days, been a little bit under the weather. I don't think it's corona, but something. Maybe the brother wasn't eating right is what I think, what I'm saying. But it is what it is. So what I'm gonna try to do is catch up. Try to make these a little bit quicker. So we're gonna talk about Billy Joe Saunders, right? I'm a little late to the ball game. Everyone probably knows by now Billy Joe Saunders dominated Martin Murray in extremely awesome fashion. Extremely awesome fashion. And I want to make this clear before we get started. I don't like Billy Joe Saunders from his actions. I think he's a scumbag, right? In a way, right? But he's still a cool dude, but he's a little scumbag. He got a little scumbag in him, right? That's not nobody. One of my favorite songs is Teenage Dirtbag Baby. Listen to Iron Maiden. Remember that? Wheatus? So, it ain't like I got too much against scumbags or dirtbags. You know what I'm saying? But he's got a little bit in him. Some Billy Joe Saunders. And anybody that doesn't know him, he's a character, right? And he's not really that disciplined. He's always fat in between fights. But if you get a focused Billy Joe Saunders, everybody's in trouble. Billy Joe Saunders is awesome. He's an awesome fighter. He beat Martin Murray. Martin Murray is more than a journeyman. He's lost 5 fights. He's been in some close fights, Martin Murray. But this much distance is showing how awesome a Billy Joe Saunders is. He's just awesome fighter, man. And if he was real focused, it would be a problem for a lot of fighters, right? Billy Joe Saunders has wins over like Chris Eubank Jr., Andy Lee when Andy Lee was Andy Lee. Right? You don't do that. And his win against David Lemieux was so good that at the time, even Canelo Alvarez said, I don't want to fight him. He's a runner. That's what he had said at the time. But then he had to fight Demetrius Andrade, so he said, I'd rather fight Billy Joe Saunders. That's another story. But Billy Joe Saunders has put some distance in between him and Martin Murray, beat the hell out of him, actually. One-sided fight. He showcased his talent. And it is what it is. So what's the future hold? Right? So when I'm seeing hearing Eddie Hearn at the end, Eddie Hearn, saying, well, maybe Canelo, Callum Smith, somebody else. And then at the end, he whispers Demetrius Andrade. All the time. Andrade's last. Now remember, Eddie Hearn is also Andrade's promoter, but he always mentions him last, like he's behind a Callum Smith or Canelo or anybody else. And he's not. So the good news I heard is the WBO mandated he got 10 days to fight either Canelo or Andrade, or the WBO is going to force him to fight a mandatory. Let's see what that is or who that is. Remember that the WBO, Billy Joe is the WBO 168-pound champion. The 160-pound champion is Demetrius Andrade. So I don't know if they can mandate Demetrius Andrade, but at least they told him either Canelo or Demetrius Andrade, right? Andrade has tried to fight Billy Joe Saunders on 2 occasions. One in which Billy Joe Saunders couldn't fight because he was doped. Right? So he had to take some time off. Another one, I forget what happened there, but that's 2 times. So Andrade is the guy, right? And let's make this clear about Demetrius Andrade. He tries to fight everybody. We know that. His own mandatory, Jaime Munguia, doesn't want to fight him. Canelo, for who knows how many years. Gennady Golovkin, who knows how many years. He even offered to fight Gennady Golovkin right-handed instead of his southpaw stance. So let's see if Billy Joe Saunders is going to say, hey, something, forget that. Andrade, bring your butt up here and I'd handle you at 168 pounds. Let's see if that happens, right? But I do want to make sure this is clear. Billy Joe Saunders is 30-0, right? And it's time for him to handle his business and see what's going to happen. They're going to talk Canelo. They're going to talk Callum Smith. They're going to talk all of them. Let's just see if he's feeling confident. Because after that fight, it's time to feel confident. And it's time for him to stay busy. Now, if I'm going to repeat, if Billy Joe Saunders stays focused and busy, he's a problem for everybody, right? It's not all about the one-punch knockout power and all that stuff. It's about I got skills, and I have a whole lot of them. And this is me not really being focused, right? Man, it's awesome. And remember, I don't like him, but I know awesome when I see it. And when I say I don't like people, let's make sure this is clear too. That doesn't mean I don't acknowledge what they're about. Because like I say, I didn't like Michael Jordan. I didn't like Dan Marino. A lot of awesome people, because you're on the other side. They weren't on your team. Billy Joe Saunders has just acted a fool on too many occasions, so I don't really like him or what he's about. But I'll tell you one damn thing. I know awesome when I see it, and Billy Joe Saunders is awesome. So somebody prove that he's not. Let's see what happens going forward. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide, and we got to keep it moving. And I'm up out of here.